To create jobs to synchronize and copy your files, you need to follow a few simple steps. First, you need to configure your communications agents. These define how each of your different machines will talk to each other. There's a whole separate list of videos covering this topic. You then use the Job Wizard. This creates the basic job that identifies the route paths that you will copy files between. After the wizard completes, you can use the property sheets to modify the characteristics of the job. After you've created your jobs, you can create a schedule or a real-time monitor to run that job. A schedule and a monitor can contain multiple jobs that run all at once. A schedule would execute the jobs in sequence while a monitor executes them all at once. Let's go through the process of creating a job to do a few things here. We'll just go up here and select Job. All we have to do is give it a name. And I have a couple of machines defined here. So we'll create a reference to the route path on this local machine. And it gives me a warning saying that it doesn't exist. Let's say no, and we'll do it again. And this time, we're going to say create the route path if it doesn't exist. There's several other options on this panel, but you're unlikely to need them unless you're doing FTP and need to put in an FTP profile. Click that. This time we don't get the warning. You can add a remote machine. It will connect, and you can browse, if you like, to that machine. Scan down here, find one more path. So I'm going to create a simple job here that simply mirrors from the one machine to the other. I'm going to take all of the subfolders. The source for this will be on the remote machine. We're not going to have any file masking here. If you wanted, you could exclude temp files. We could do something like, and that would tell it to exclude the temp files when you're doing the mirror. Click Finish, and it's created the basic job for us. Here we have route paths. We have a number of options associated with this, some performance options, alerts that can be set off for this particular job, a summary of the rules that are in the job, and some run statistics if we had run it, and security settings. You can set security settings for the individual job here. Under the job, we have the rule. This is the mirror rule that we selected. There's a separate video that discusses all of the different rules. That's in the concept and rule types. Gives a summary of the route paths. You can have a source path for a mirror, and you can have multiple destinations. The file masks that can be separated, describes that down here. You can filter by date. You can filter by attribute. Now we're actually selecting everything in this rule, but we really don't care about hidden and system files. We'll select things that are marked as normal or read-only. And the rest of these you usually don't need to worry about. Folders can be selected on the same basis. We can ignore hidden and system folders. And then we have a number of options related to this particular rule. And if you're going to copy the security objects, and if you're going to handle open files. So you can set options to copy the file while the file is still open. Hit apply to keep our changes. And now we have the basic rule. Once you have a job defined, you're going to want to put it either in a schedule or a monitor in order to execute that job. In this case, we're going to select a schedule. We'll just call it mirror. And then we select the job we want and we drag and drop it into the selected job. So you could put multiple jobs here to run. Click Next, and you can schedule it for a specific time, or if you want to have it recurring. We're just going to make this simple here. We've created a schedule. It's been created in a hold state, which means it's not running. And if we wanted, we could do a preview up here to see what would happen, or we can simply run it. You can see that it's nested within the schedule here. There are options on the schedule. We're going to leave everything at the default. Here's where you could actually change the jobs that are in it. You can run scripts at the beginning and the end of a schedule. You can control the level of logging, set alert filters, and set security on the job. Let's run this job. It's going to make sure that you actually want to run the job. It's going to launch it generally through the scheduler. And here it's going to connect and run our job. Let's take this same job and put it in a real-time monitor. So go up here, select this. And we'll do the same thing where we're going to select the job. And we can click Finish. Again, it's put the monitor in a hold state. And if we look at the monitor, it's very similar to the schedule. You can drag and drop the jobs across it. Now, monitor is something that generally runs all the time, but you can actually set intervals, and during different times of day or days of the week, you can give it different priorities or have it simply stop processing during certain periods of time. So you have a lot of flexibility in the intervals. There are some options, including using the locking feature. There's scripts that would run at the beginning and the end of an interval, logging options, alert filters, and security. So much of this is the same as in a schedule, except a schedule executes one job after the other. The monitor will bring up all of the jobs that are within it, and they're basically running all at the same time, waiting for changes to occur on files. As soon as a change is recognized, it immediately processes that change and copies files where they belong. When you have a monitor set up and it's configured the way you want it, you generally want it to be running all the time. So we need to take it off of hold. So rather than just manually starting it, we can uncheck the box here that puts it on hold. And when we click Apply, it's going to notify the scheduler that that job is ready. And you can see that it's already launched it. Now when it's launched in this manner, it doesn't automatically bring up the status panel. If you wanted the status panel, you'd have to click on it and click the status button in order to see the status of the job as it's running. So here it's already got everything synchronized, so there's nothing to do. If we cancel that job, it'll put it back in a hold stat. And up here in the mirror, we also have a scheduling tab. And we can do things like, say, run it every day. You could have it run multiple times during the day. Let's say we wanted to start running this at 10 a.m. and then it will simply run every day. You can select a number of different options through here to control how that job is run. Click Apply. It's going to compute the next date. And again, if we want it to run, we just simply take it off of hold. That changes the status here, and this will run the next time that scheduled time comes around. And then it will automatically reschedule for the next run time.